yesterday. That's what I'm saying. I'll just clean up after all the edges, because we never cleaned up our edges yesterday. So to attach the bottle wall to the tires, I'm going to just drive a couple nails in there.
Whose dog is that just keeps getting in the way?
Well, the water, but we just poured this concrete yesterday afternoon, so it's... Alright, so the typical bottle wall, this is how I do it. Other people have different methods, but this works for me. I do a blob and a blob. It's about 2 to 3 inches high. It's about a ½ inch or so off of the edge of the bottles over here. I'm grabbing my blobs and place them on the wall. I'm not patting it down, but I'm just making sure it's connected by a little vibration. I'm only going to do up to here. Usually I would do the whole thing. Okay, then I'm going to come more blob right next to it. And I'm gonna keep it lofted. And lofted, I mean by it's up, because I'll compress it with the bottle when I get to that point. My next blob, lay a blob. Next blob, lay a blob. My next blob.
Hey, if your name was Bob, you'd be Bob the Blobber.
Yeah, I would be. Now I'm taking a bottle, but I'm considering the bottles underneath. And I'm going to try to lay this bottle in between those two bottles. And so I'm just going to press the bottle in. And what it's doing is it's slightly compressing the cement mortar so it's out flush with the bottles beneath it. Now I'm going to grab our next bottle and I'm going to compress it right in the wall. And I have what we call the 2-finger rule, more or less. My fingers are big. More or less, you always want to keep the bottles about 1 inch away from each other at their kind of closest point. That being the shoulder to the bottle right here. So, and I alternated the bottle. One bottle is facing this way, one bottle is facing this way, because both sides are getting plastered. And then I'm going to lay my next bottle like such. Next bottle like such. And so, what I've ended up with is, and I'm going to check my bottle, I'm going to kind of scrape off my excess right here. I'm going to take that blob and put it there. And then I'm going to make sure no cement mortar is protruding past my butts of my bottles right there. So what I ended up with is about 1 inch of space between each bottle. There's also that same amount of space between the bottles here. So it's that continuous matrix. If we were to build this bottle higher and higher and higher, that's the strength of the wall. This provides no strength. We're creating millions of little arches in the wall, connected arches out of cement mortar. We're going to build it up to about this level. You might find that on your third course you might have to stop, and because it might start slumping, and generally you stop for an hour, you do another wall on the other side of the house, come back to it, and you can go up another 2 or 3 courses. So in a day, potentially, if you were just to build this wall, you could get it this high, you know, on a good day. So easily, and a wall on the other side of the house. I want to plumb up from that bottom course since we set that yesterday with a straight line. And so I'm just plumbing that up right there.
Is it more important to be plumb up than, like, do we have to keep level?
No, and that's the beauty of this. You don't have to keep level. We'll just level it with a patty of cement.
Cool.
When we're done. So I'm going to bring all this in a little bit. After we get the bottles up, we're going to cap it with some mortar, and we're going to set a wood plate in that wet mortar by porcupining with nails. Basically, nails driven halfway into the plating, and we're going to set that plate level on top of that mortar bed. So we can set one of these windows on top of that tomorrow morning.